Yo, what's up? Who's ready for some Pokemon? Oh, it looks like nobody's here. Oh, well, somebody... Well, Cyan is here for Pokemon. Let's talk. Let's jam. If you had any idea how... Oh, wait, I forgot to say I'm going live on the Discord. That's why nobody's here. Okay, well, give me a second. Okay. To drill holes in my desk to set up better monitor mounts. We are live. Okay, I'm announcing this. Give me a second here. Give me a second here. Back again for another classic video essay prep stream. This time about Pokopia, Kintsugi, and what is lost and gained in the act of repair. It's going to be a beautiful one. Let me tell you, folks. Let me tell you. Yeah, they don't want me to say this. They don't want you to know, but this is going to be a beautiful essay. Oh my god, my hair is already the right color because the Petra color fading is perfect for Ditto, for the little Ditto guy. Should I wait for more people to show up before I talk about this at all? Probably. Hi everybody, welcome to the Drawk Show. Welcome to the internet, where I plan video essays sometimes as part of what I do here. Yeah, I think we just see if this works. Does this? Okay, so that was for watching stuff. Game won't work, right? Like this is... Oh, it does work. Wow, it's that simple. Yeah, okay, I guess we're in it. I misspelled Kitsugi? Well, so did you, to be fair. So, you know, I'm not alone in that, at least. Check it out. We have the game running, and do you have audio? Do we have game audio? You don't have game... Wait, this game audio's off, because this one's on, we have game audio. Yeah. I'm gonna be streaming a lot of Pokopia, so I needed to spend some time to set this up. And you might be like, well, didn't you say you're not good at game streams? The answer to that is yes, I'm not a good game streamer. However, this isn't about games. This is about a video essay, which I am good at. And I need to record some pre-finished footage. And I'm gonna need to record the process of stage 2. But stage 2, I can't really talk about yet. But man, I have such a better stream setup. You've been waiting for ages? Hello, Snoll. Now the thing is, you've been waiting for ages because I needed to change how my gaming setup was set up. Because previously, I had my third monitor taped to a rack. And now it is properly on a mount. Along with my other monitor. I've saved desk space, actually, which is shocking. I'm just gonna check for dailies real quick. Oh, so many flowers. You don't need them. Although we do have almost all of the music mats. Your least favorite game? Look, some people disagree. I'm not good at streaming video games. I don't know how to talk about what I'm doing properly. But what I can do is talk about Pokopia and Repair. Should I wait a bit longer? Do people have anything they want to talk about? Did someone bring up a topic for us to jam on while we're waiting for enough people to, like, drop the concept? I guess I can just talk about it, whatever. The concept of this video essay is about what is gained and lost through repair. So a thing that I noticed, I'll go to an example spot. So a thing that I've noticed in Pokopia is that you show up to these broken worlds, and the way that they're broken tells a story. So for instance, the road here, up top, where we're going here, right? This road just kind of ended at nothing. Oh, no, I remember what it was. It was that this looked like it was meant to be a road heading down that led to right here. So I decided to kind of... Or to right here. To be honest, to how it was before and rebuild the connection between these two areas. But I can show you a better example that's more clear that I'm going to be doing in the future. So down here, take a look. You can see these buildings way down, right? And you can see this piece of a road. And if we go all the way up here, whoop, we could see... Wait. There, I got rid of a bunch of them. but there was a bunch of other pieces of these buildings right here, the other halves of these buildings. So what happened was this split. The game is indicating that these two land masses split in half. Maybe I can, can I put my green screen above this so I can draw on top of it? That would actually be so good for communication right now. Let me grab that. Let me set this up, actually. I think we can do this. I think we can, oh, it's already above. This is amazing. Okay. Okay, I can draw on the screen. This is going to take a second. Look, I don't know if I want to touch queer mental health for the exact cancellation risk you're talking about. It's not really my space. Okay, there we go. This'll work. So I'll show you what I'm talking about. If I can find my pen. This is going to be so hard to do, but let's see. Can I manage it? Can I manage it? Okay. Wait, it said it's above it. Oh my god, okay. If we go over here. No, we gotta raise it higher. Oh, it's the steam it's above. It's not above the other stuff. Okay. What? 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 Oh, I turned it off. That's why. Alright, we'll turn it on. I don't know, probably something. Oh, wait. I understand it now. I understand it now. We need to get the green screen version of it. Hello, Angle Simp. Just a sec, I'm figuring out how to be able to draw on the screen. Green screen drawing, there we go. Alright, testing. Perfect! Okay, I can draw on the screen. So check it out. The way the game is indicating damage is that this landmass used to be part of this landmass way down here where we can see broken ruins. So the game is indicating through its damage that when these pieces were lifted into the sky, this one was raised higher, breaking apart from this down here. My goal in repairing the world in Pokopia, both for the essay and for personal satisfaction, is I want to create a space where I am honoring what used to be while acknowledging the damage. Thus, the mention of kintsugi, the Japanese art of repair by gilded cracks. So I'm trying to figure out how to make this work. 2 weeks ago, you met another Drawk viewer. Turns out you're neighbors. That's crazy, dude. I've never met a Drawk viewer. Good lord. Wow. I'll see if I can find some other examples. For anybody who's played Pokopia, I am doing my best to create a functional rail system, because Pokemon will sometimes go on the rails. Angleson, 14 months, thank you so goddamn much. Pokemon will go on the rails if you build accurate, working railway tracks. So let's just show off some of our zones here. I don't want the video essay to be a look at my cool build, because I'm not a good enough builder to show that off, but I think I'm good enough to make a video about repair. So this is the subway track I built. You've also met a random Drawk viewer? I guess it makes sense if you're friends with people who like a similar vibe of things, right? What do you want, Whooper? He gives you gifts. So this was a big, messy industrial area, so I turned it into an industrial work site, where a bunch of Pokemon whose abilities help them work together. So right now you can see Garbodor is recycling, and Cyndaquil is making bricks. It's great. We love it. It's a beautiful work zone. The indication seemed to be that this was like a subway station, so I've tried to rebuild that vibe and turn this into another functional little subway station. There's a little farm because it was a spilling water zone. People do way crazier builds than me. It's not quite Minecraft level because there's not as much automation, but it's cool. This was not an active repair. This I kind of built before I realized what I was doing. But these were all a bunch of ruined, broken buildings. Something we're going to do in a couple weeks once I have the Chainsaw Man essay and Fire Emblem essay further along, is we are going to do a series of streams where I play back through the game, but I try to repair as little as possible so I can create good before and afters to show off the repair. So all of these were broken buildings that I've tried to rebuild into just a nice little city zone. And I'll show you an example of an area that's in the middle of a repair that's not quite as far. The big thing of the essay is I want to talk about, like, what is lost in repair and what is gained in repair. How damage tells a story, and how you can repair something in a way that you maintain that story while telling your own story of your experience with an object. So this is a fighting dojo that was buried. Yeah, I know you can get wireless electricity, but I like the look of the wires. Most of the city is wirelessly, but I keep the cables where I like them. It's all about choices, right? There's no ideal way to do something. So yeah, this dojo is one of my next repair projects to make this look good. Wires are cool, exactly. All of this was buried under sandstone when you get here, and other rock and debris, having been, like, burrowed into a mountain when the cataclysm happened. So I'm in the process of repairing all of this now and fixing it together. Hey, your friends, good. Down here we have another subway station that I haven't decorated yet. I built so much transit because I wanted Pokemon to be able to move, and I've seen them use it once. They don't appreciate my hub of transportation. I do just like the subway stations for the sake of it, though. They make me happy. This was a crazy project. All of these buildings were devastated. They were broken up and separated. And I wanted to recreate the idea that this was one connected city block. So I rebuilt roads and subway train in between all these buildings and fully fixed all these buildings back together. The only thing they're missing is their foundation because I didn't have the recipe when I did it. So I'm gonna and the windows. So I need to come back, add windows, elevators, and the foundation. It's nice to imagine them using. I like to pretend they use the railways when I'm offline. The game's not coming to the Switch 1. The Switch 1, I don't think is actually powerful enough for one, and they're just not moving backwards. Like, that's not gonna happen. I know. It's tragic. You guys get to play with me, where I play through the game again in the coming weeks, and try to fix nothing instead of fix everything for a comparison point. One of the fun things I had here was, I had to make a lot of choices of what block to use, because in some places it was obvious, but there's all these places of exposed metal, and the implication of the game seems to be that this exposed metal texture is used where there used to be this solid iron, but also where there used to be concrete blocks, with the idea being it's like rebar poking through. It's a way to evoke the feeling of broken down things, with rough iron being all that's left. So I needed to choose where I felt like the rough iron was intentional and where it wasn't. I should lower the percentage of my face cam? I mean, sure. I specifically lowered it for a different stream because it was taking up too much space. Where's webcam group? Okay, well that didn't work. Alright, that'll be fine. How's my poly project getting along? Which poly project? There's a lot of projects in the way. The clock is ticking to get it before it goes up in price in September. Yeah, the Switch 2 is gonna... Oh, the Dems? Shit! Oh my god, you're right. I forgot to grab data. I'm going through a rough mental time at the moment. Don't want to get into it. That's gonna be this week, I guess, because I couldn't stream Saturday. I gotta get that data together. Let's make plans to do that in the Discord maybe tomorrow or Thursday. One or the other. We'll start working on the spreadsheet. God, I need to talk to someone about... I guess I'll talk to you guys and see what you guys think I need as accurate information to check to make sure I'm being fair and accurately gathering things. Yeah, I love the feeling of rebuilding in this game, but I also started to feel a lot of sadness, and this is why I want to do the essay, where in the process of rebuilding, I was discovering all these places where I could see what the damage was that had occurred in this place, and it kind of, in a weird way, repair is destructive. I was destroying the damage by fixing. I was getting rid of the ability to tell the story of what happened here. I'll show you one of my favorite examples of decisions having to be made. So, take a look right here, okay? When you first arrive in this area, Oh, wait, I have to look at the wrong monitor. I was looking at the wrong monitor. When you first arrive in this area, this right here is above this road. But this road is lined up to connect with this road. So what the game is implying is that when everything rose up, this rose up higher than this as a landmass. So in theory, in the past, this used to run underneath this structure right here. But now, I had to make a choice. Because there was also a landmass with this road on it up here. So the choice I made was to level all of this and have the road now run underneath this object as it used to, creating stairs here. But you could have also chosen to create a bridge to get this road over top of that subway platform structure and leave the platform over here for it to run along. And it gets more complicated because of a different issue. Let me just clear this so I can show you why this repair decision was more complicated. Check that out. This road was meant to connect with this road that I had built to connect it to a place it used to go. So I had to make another choice. What do I do with this old road that used to be connected? So restoration often comes with making tough choices. Exactly. So 90 streams? Good lord. Yeah, my Switch 1 died. That's why I bought a Switch 2. So this road here used to be what these connected to, and the decision had to be, well, do I respect the fact that I want this road to be coming in from the other island? Do I try to connect this and bring it back around to that? What choice do I make? So I want to find a way eventually to connect this road, but for now, I didn't want to. Just got off work, what up? We're talking about my planned Pokopia essay about repair. And I'll show you another example. This road here, I have to eat bread, I've run out of power by magnemiting too hard. This road here is implied to have connected in the past to this road way up here, because this road leads to nothing and perfectly lines up with the road on the other side. So I wanted to connect them, and I could have done so with these transit platforms that run across, but I really want to recreate the connected feeling that this world once had. So I decided to rebuild the road through the sky to connect them. And then I decided to use that as the basis for the subway infrastructure underneath to make for easier transit. And I've become fascinated with all these points of decisions in what you choose to restore and how, because you can't actually fully fix something broken unless you're gonna actually fully destroy it and rebuild it how it once used to be. But then it's not repair, it's rebuilding. It's rebuilding the same thing. It's not an act of repair. So the way I've decided to treat the world is, instead of trying to create it how it was, I'm trying to use the structures it has now after damage to recreate the effect of what it once had, which feels like a way more interesting decision to me. I also love cute subways, which is why I've made cute subways. Restoration versus reconstruction, exactly. I need to build more of these stoppers, because Pokemon only use the subways if you play stoppers. Could be the title for the essay? Could be. I'm also thinking what is lost in repair. I haven't set up signs yet, so I don't remember where these go. I haven't played with these railways much. Guys, do we take the left one, the middle one, or the right one? I leave it to you. I don't remember where these go. Which train are we taking? Team? One person says left. Does anyone else say? Leave it to Nintendo. Right? Oh, damn. Right wing. Damn. And then leave it to Nintendo to tie a philosophical undertone to this kid's game mechanics. I don't know if it's intentional, but I feel like it was, because the damage that they've inflicted is so well thought out. You can commit an act of anthropology and reconstruct the intention. All right, we have one vote for each. Next person settles it. We have one vote for each train track, so the next person gets to choose. I think I might remember where the left goes, and it's, like, really close. We'll be back here quickly if we take the left. Left it is! This one, I think, barely goes anywhere. This is just the train to the work zone. Yeah, this is the commuter rail. It just goes to the workstation. that we looked at earlier, where all of the Pokemon are laboring. Why does Drawk always look sad? A little bastard. I should ask him, but I'm not gonna. His job is collection. Alright, guys. Are we taking the middle or the right? Which one do we do? The left goes nowhere. Pointless. Good lord, you people. I have to build another subway station here to make this feel complete. I haven't built that yet. But building is really boring, so I don't want to do that with you guys. Middle it is. Like, I guess it's a cozy stream. Like, we could do a cozy stream and I'll put on a very different tone of voice. Oh, we're going to the big subway station. So this is an underground subway relay you find that's in really bad repair. So I put it back together and I expanded the elevator system that goes to the main building in the middle and brings it upwards. The entire Minecraft, most of the Minecraft, let's be honest, compare the popularity of Minecraft builders who build houses to like redstone builders, modders, speedrunners. It is not the most successful form. So this primary building is a giant elevator, and I connected it to the subway station to create better transit connections. Because I thought it was cool. Now we're here. I love this game. It's so cute. Alright, we're going back down. We're going back down to the subway relay. I'll show off some of the other areas that I've done some repair work as well. I can show off Rocky Ridges, because if you were there for the Politics Day, you saw me slowly unburying the museum, and you'll find it probably a little interesting how it turned out. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, which one did we just come from? It was this one, right? So, we have... This is 1, 2, and 3. Where are we going? 1, 2, or 3? No, Minecraft speedrunners are more popular than builders. I'm sorry. As far as, like, entertainment. Someone says 3? 3 it is. I think this goes back to the main island. So everywhere... Oh, guess I have to fix this. This is too short. I haven't tested these rails, by the way, the new ones. I know you can't tell the difference, but I just built a ton of these. Like, a ton of them are new construction. Actually, let's... So I didn't realize the height limit here. No. That's the goal of is finding the bugs in these rails. That's good. Have I seen the video? Oh, wait. We're just missing track? Oh, what the fuck? Why is it bent? Okay. I don't know what happened there, but that track was bent. Boop. Alright, there we go. Now we're good. It turns out I didn't bonk my little head. It turns out there was missing track. You can tell this was the most recently built because all the blocks from digging it out are still there. Oh, right, I haven't built a station here because there used to be a house that I got rid of. Alright, guys. Which one of these do we go down? 1, 2, or... Alright, wait. 1, 2, 3. That's how we'll do it. I think making repair feel interesting was a huge goal of the game, for sure. 2 it is! It was a running joke at your job that you could help fix everything because you'd find problems. That's great. I think this is a fun... I think this one goes a while. Yeah, this one goes a while. I love these subways so much. It's honestly my favorite thing I've built. I'm going to cover them in posters and decorate them. You know what? Decorating might be more interesting than building. Yo, thank you for the follow. Yeah, I don't know. I'm finding myself so attached and affixed to this idea of making choices and how you fix something and what it says about you. Another thing I plan on doing is finding YouTubers or other people who've fully repaired everything, like made it as accurate as possible to compare to. Whoop. Why did you read this as Pomni propaganda? It is Pomni propaganda. This game... Oh, Pomni. No, it's Pomni propaganda for sure, not Pomni. Pomni propaganda, I understand. I've also thought that I should do a gaming stream about Disco Elysium because I should finally play it. But yeah. Dog, this... I love this. So this island was entirely buried and I need to rebuild it. The road system is so complex to connect it. Pommy propaganda. It is Pommy propaganda for sure. It made my friend love Pommy so much. I don't know if Mama Duck would like Disco Elysium as much as you think. She likes politics, but she usually doesn't like that kind of, writ. If you had this game, you'd be torn fixing it like I do, but everything back together as it originally was, including moving landmasses, but that's not repair. If you are fully taking apart the landmasses and then rebuilding them, that isn't an act of repair. It's an act of recreation, which I didn't want to do. But I'm going to find people who repaired the world in different ways to get footage of, to compare, so that I can talk about kintsugi and reconstruction of the difference between a new vase that is a recreation and trying to honor the damage and what was lost, which is kind of become my goal. Let's go take a look at Rocky Ridges so I can show you guys the museum and how that turned out, because it's kind of beautiful. Play Hollow Knight, it's philosophical, deals with the themes of... Maybe. It's, excuse me, it's gritty but also funny. Ask again because I got distracted by train tracks, yes. Have I seen the video series of an archaeologist uncovering and interpreting the ruins in Minecraft? No, but that sounds fun. Yo, what up, Green? Why am I so sweaty? I've got, like, the residue on my scalp I get from a hard exercise. Oh, that's probably just moisturizer, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Okay, turns out it's not sweat residue. So, this area, if anyone's seen anybody play this game or they played it, they know this was all buried in ash. So, I unburied this house a little bit that I think used to be the Pewter City Gym. A house for an Entei. I made a church. We'll go take a look at the church after we take a look at the party zone, where we have a stage and a kitchen. So this is a party zone. Here are some houses I rebuilt. One of them was a new house, one of them is a repair. And then this is the church I built. First Church of Arceus. Chansey lives here. Always littering fucking rocks everywhere. There is an annoying conflation between darkness and depth, that is true, but sometimes things are deep. And I will say, lighthearted things often struggle to be deep, I think is why the conflation is there. Alright guys, do you remember? Who was here on that day where we were slowly spending hours and hours unburying the museum? Who's ready? Can you make comments and questions on other essay ideas? Totally. So this is one I'm excited to talk about, where I recreated this beautiful flowery valley walking up to the Pewter City Museum. Where a giraffe is hanging out. We love to see him. Look at the museum! Look how pretty it turned out. Fully unburied from ash. Beautiful floral valley. You love it. Howdy there. Welcome, says Haunter, the shop owner. A bunch of dinosaurs who make paint for me live here. No, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want the paint right now. The content reminds you of some countries try to build new transit, but they run issues of... Yeah, Rome. You mean Rome. Huh. That does sound interesting, Trey Nix. My robot voice is back. All right, let me fix it. I am hoping, Narwhals, to be back to working on the Fire Emblem essay with you this week. I have been in a bad mental state. We're hoping to get good again. We'll see how it goes. Also, check out something else that I've built in this new area. It's beautiful. You'll be shocked and amazed. You'll be befuddled and impressed. Actually, wait. I need to buy that humidifier that Haunter was selling for this, I realized. How quickly do I want you to make it? We'll see. We do need to get that essay out before the whatever game coming out is. I've been needing to buy a humidifier for this. Here's the thing about Korra and Toph. People were children when they saw Toph, and children are better than adults, so they saw herself in her, and that's all it is. That's literally the reason they like Toph. They weren't sexist yet. They were children. They were innocents who had yet to be tainted by a hatred of women. Other than that, very little reason. Also, the plot cared less about Toph being arrogant and punished her less for it. That's all. Look, I made a beautiful sauna because I wanted to take advantage of the warm filter that gets put on the screen in the lava zone over here. So this is the Mount Moon formal sauna, where I accidentally put tables instead of chairs so you can't sit down. I need to replace them. Sorry, not sauna, hot spring. Then this is the changing room. We love it. It's beautiful. And this is the sauna, which we need the humidifier for to add more steam. You know what? I'll put it in there. I'll put it in the zone here. You were a teen when watching Korra and liked her as a character. You heard she was horrible before watching and was waiting for it to happen and it didn't? Yes. The reason people like Toph and don't like Korra is one, the plot, and one, that they weren't sexist yet. There we go. Steam, you thought about... Did I get... what a great joke. Look, I put hot water underneath to make it steamy in here. It's a beautiful sauna, and we love them. We love them, Magikarp. Finland represent, yes. This is the Mount Moon formal sauna. You think that's because the story frequently had Toph's flaws directly caused setbacks? Where Korra, being the protagonist, was often undermining the optimal path? Yeah, but, like, yeah, that's stories. It's just, when male characters do that shit, nobody cares. They're like, well, they're learning a lesson. People think women need to be perfect. The expectations we put on women are to either be perfect support pieces or perfect protagonists. But now we have Mary Sue as a term, so we don't even like perfect protagonists. This is the rebuilt farm I made. Beautiful little farmland up here. This I haven't worked on at all. I added a house to put my gardeners in, so they can garden the farm. Mako's pretty bad. The in-between on Mako is just a young man struggling to find himself and deal with his mistakes. I like Mako's character arc, even though he's shitty. He ends up... He's an incredibly impressive person who fucks up all the time, and I'm fine with that. I don't know. I like the flawed characters we have. Also, look, I love Sokka. Don't get me wrong. I love Sokka. But I think I actually like Bolin even better than Sokka as the silly guy. And I'm not saying I dislike Sokka at all. I just fucking love Bolin. This is the area I did the most comprehensive repair in. You think one problem with Korra is that she had a villain cooler than her? Yeah, Zahir is an incredible antagonist. I also think Kuvira is kind of an A-tier, border on S-tier protagonist. Kuvira, Noah Talk, Zahir are all cooler villains than Ozai. Fuck it. I think Vatu's finisher wasn't perfect. Vatu was a better villain than Ozai. Ozai's underwhelming. Mako was written as likable but falls flat. I don't agree. I feel like Mako wasn't written to be likable after Season 2. I think Season 2 was the last time Mako was written to be the likable guy, and after that he was, like, lost. So this is interesting, right? Because when I first started building in this area, repair wasn't my goal. So I built this big, cool house for Magnemite to live in. But then I started to want to do my repair. So this little gym site I'd built for Hitmonchan, I made a side area, that is an honest recreation and then connected it, I should probably add stairs, to the house I built, because my philosophy started to change at this point. The way Season 2 simplified spirits wasn't great. I don't think it simplified them entirely. I think Vatu and Rava are exceptions. They represent concepts that are more simple than other spirits, and that's fine. Yeah, Magnemite does deserve a nice house. You're right. Anyways, over here, I fully reconstructed these houses. So these houses were all ruins, and I fully put them all back together. So this used to be a pile of ruins, and I rebuilt it as honestly as I could from the ruins I found. And it gives me, like, this deep satisfaction to look at these houses now, properly put together. These stairs I need to finish building. Tenzin's incredible. Tenzin's a fucking fantastic character. He's so complicated. I love him. Yeah, that's true. Toph not being the protagonist helped her be more liked. Beautiful little house here. Fit for a little guy. This is a shop I recreated that I found. Where the fuck did you get a lump of gold, Noctowl? Wild shit. The ad is frozen with 10 seconds left. Oh no. And then these are just other houses I recreated. Is there something here about Japan being very used to rebuilding after natural disasters? I mean, maybe. But that's not what went in my head. What went in my head was just wanting to recreate things because it felt satisfying to my brain. Are you going to have to watch on YouTube again? I can't tell you how to live your life. This area over here, I haven't fixed yet. So this is what an area looks like that is unrepaired. So you see this building that I could fix and haven't. You see this elevator I could fix and haven't. And all of these houses, these lots that want you to build here that I haven't built on yet. So there's like, I'm supposed to build like 5 extra houses here and I've yet to. So this is an unrepaired area. If you're kind of wondering what these zones look like before they're put back together. Now, granted, I have... Yeah, Korra's... the fights in Korra were incredible. Vatu turned them to dark, which is simplified as evil in actions, by not being the case. I mean, yeah, but, like, Vatu is the most simplified version of dark spirits, right? Like, he is the most simple version of all of the things. Because when Heibai was turned dark, yes, he wasn't pure evil, but he was dangerous and violent. But that's because there is still the other parts of him. Vatu is meant to be the absence of those other parts. They are the most simplified forms. Imagine if you can visit this place again, the next mainline Pokemon games. That'd be cool. I mean, this place is Viridian City. Or, sorry, not Viridian City. What's it called? Does anyone remember the place... The place with Koga. I only remember Heibai's name because I have him in a commander deck. Mad to the Gathering for the win again. No, Celadon doesn't have Koga. It has the Safari Zone. What's it called? Shit. Yeah, Snull, he thought he would die. He only didn't die because Bolin saved him. Oh, he only got a broken arm? Yeah, but he was willing to die. The point was he was willing to die. I can see that, but you have to remember, Vatu, largely represents a hatred of humans. To humans, that is pure evil, right? Like, he wanted to destroy humanity and disrupt order. Like, yeah, that, if you rely on order to live, feels pretty big. You came from the PS showcase as a performative PS hater. PS5, unfortunately, has games now. It always had games. Y'all just love to shit on them. You had to choose giving your Prime sub to me or Peach House Platinum Kaizo. That's, I mean, I'm sad I lost your Prime sub, but fair. Peach Howl's a hero. I gotta start watching him on Twitch. I've only been watching the YouTube dailies. Guys, I'm not saying Toph is bad or you need to like Korra more. I'm saying the hatred of Korra is largely sexism. So this is Bleak Beach. I've done some restoration. I built a bunch of houses on these empty lots that you're supposed to fill in. Built a lovely little crafting zone that looks cute. I have yet to restore this. So over here, you can take a look at what unrestored houses look like. Let Mako be redeemed. He learned his lesson. All right, Tatsugiri, you can move in. I'm a big fan. I made 3 houses for Tatsugiris to live on the beach here, and then I'm going to make a sushi restaurant for them to work at because it's funny. Batu's just hatred of humans, but the way it's laid out, you think it'd be better if he's anti-civilization? I agree. Look, I think there's a lot in Season 2 that's not great. I think Vatu's not a problem. The way he's dealt with is. And I think the writing around him could have been cleaner. Season 2, I actually feel like it's really good until the finale, and I'll stand by that. It plays things well. Make Drawk play Disco Elysium. What lesson did Mako learn? That he had put himself first and didn't believe in anything. That he wasn't there for people and assumed people would be there for him. He was just selfish. He learned that he'd been selfish and didn't think things through and thought about what he wanted and not the consequences of his actions. The reason self-sacrifice meant a lot to him was that his problem had been not thinking about consequences and putting himself first. That had been what was wrong with Mako. Self-sacrifice isn't the lesson every character needs to learn. It doesn't fix every character arc. But Mako's problem was not thinking of others and not thinking about consequences and only thinking about what he wanted. He was a selfish man and didn't realize it and tried to disguise it and dress it up. The reason self-sacrifice was meaningful for him isn't because it's a unanimous answer. It's because it was his answer. So this is a comparison of the Pokemon fan club, which I rebuilt, and an unrepaired house right beside it. I mean, I am not opposed to doing a stream of Disco Elysium. Just right now, I want to talk about Pokopia and I guess Korra. Like, you can't look at a character's final actions in a vacuum. You need to consider how it weighs against their arc, their flaws. Korra's a fun character. Korra's a great character. So here's another unrepaired building. There's a lot of unrepaired buildings left for me to fix, which is interesting. I mean, yeah, but that's the thing. Mako's arc at every moment is about what he wants. That's what he's about. Yeah, the comedy in Korra is really good. And yeah, Korra in Season 3 and 4 is fantastic. I agree. And we're flying to another area that I've yet to fix at all. God, there's a lot of repair I still have to do, actually. Alright. Chat, I tell you what. We are gonna go do a thing. You might be thinking, what are we gonna do? Great question, chat. The thing we're going to do together now, as a team, as a unit, is we're going to decorate the subways, because decoration is fun. There's a side story made by the same people. Well, I haven't played the first one, so I'm not interested in that yet. We're going to decorate subways. I think you're going to find this interesting. Time to make a pile of objects. Ugh. Also, can I just say, brief brag real quick. I couldn't really fit this shirt. It was too tight on me. Check out how it's fitting. Check out the fit. Look at that. Huh? Also, I will say, slight benefit to the weight loss, trimming down my chest so much, is it's making my tits look bigger. We love the Zorro look. Alright, fair Trey Nix. I appreciate. I gotta watch Peach Owl on Twitch. Yeah, he's always protective of his brother, but I don't know. I think self-sacrifice means a lot to Mako because he's a deeply selfish person. All right, guys, what are we doing? Right, decoration. So we got to store a bunch of objects because I'm out of inventory space. Then we got to build shit. So I'm going to talk about decoration. My goal is to make things look lived in. I like things to look busy and full of life. I hate emptiness. That is my least favorite thing in an aesthetic. So our biggest goal is creating a feeling of continuity, of dwelling. So we need to free up inventory space first. So I'm going to take you to my secret bunker, where I keep excess building blocks from the environment. The Pokemon don't like when you use rollout on them, but they're wrong. I'm right. I should be allowed to, because I'm Ditto, and Ditto's the boss. I must hate the backrooms then? No, because it's a horror movie. So, I like... When I'm watching a horror movie... I mean, I do need to watch it. I'm really excited to watch it. Probably... Maybe I'll watch it tonight. Who knows? You can't stop me. No, probably not tonight. Probably, maybe tomorrow. I love emptiness as a horror concept because I'm meant to feel unsettled then. Maybe you think self-sacrifice is a crutch for self-improvement. I mean, maybe, but I think it's a sign of self-improvement in a selfish character. I think, whether it's a crutch or not depends on what arc it's resolving. Fuck. Right? Like, I think if your self-sacrifice is meant to resolve an arc that was about you, not being careful or not understanding that people care about you, like, it would be a terrible conclusion for Gon because self-sacrifice is his problem, right? His selfishness came from not understanding that people cared about him. But Mako's wasn't. His was about not understanding the way his actions affected people, not contemplating that he harmed people with how he behaved. That Kane person directed a movie at just 7 months old? Damn. That's incredible. The concept in general outside the movie, yeah, it's horror. It's meant to scare you. I like things like that are meant to be frightening. Okay, I accidentally left some stuff out of the other box, so we're gonna put some things in there. I mean, y'all quit going on. What are we doing? We're decorating a subway. Ditto's so cute. You know, I didn't really like Ditto much before this game. I've never found him that appealing of a Pokemon, but, like, this game really sells you on him. Wait, I just realized I need to break broken blocks to be able to put them away. Backrooms, another collaborative storytelling W? Hell yeah, we love that. So I picked up these broken blocks by replacement. It's a way to accidentally get these. You want the turtle Pokemon to live in the sewers? Damn. This person believes in segregated neighborhoods. Couldn't be me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Alright, now we're going to put these plants away in the plant storage area. This is a little warehouse. Oh, can I show you one of the cutest things I built that I'm very proud of? You can get patterned furniture, but you can't really tell what it'll look like from your inventory, which is frustrating. So I did something that I think is very cute. I'll show you. I built an IKEA to show off all my patterned furniture so that if I want to put it somewhere, I know what it'll look like so I can come here and grab it and put it in my inventory and I'll know what I'm grabbing. Isn't that cute? Isn't that adorable? It's an IKEA. Oh, we love to have fun here. There are many fully evolved turtles, such as Avalugg, Venusaur, Turtonator, Torkoal. I know Venusaur's not really a turtle, but I feel like he's got turtle energy. Terapagos, Torterra, Blastus. Some other guys. What's his face? What? Caracosta. All right. Excuse me, Venusaur's a frog. He's actually a stem mammal. Sorry, Venusaur's a stem mammal. Hate to break it to you. Does Pokemon count as fully evolved that has no line? Yes. All right, let's make decorations. So I want a bunch of posters, because they add a big, like, subway vibe, especially the ones that look like advertisements. I'm going to make a bunch of these ones that look like ads. And a couple of the ones that don't. You're a Pokemon? What the fuck? Does Shuckle count? So I made a turtle team when I was a teenager to play online with, and I counted Shuckle. But that was because there was only a few fully evolved turtles at the time. I shouldn't have counted Shuckle. Shuckle is not really a turtle, but he's turtle-shaped. So I think if you put him on a turtle team, I wouldn't be mad. But I think having 4 turtles for the subway is what you want, because you want them vibes. And we'll make a few of the ones that don't look like ads. At this point, you think there's enough? There's enough now. You got Turtonator to lean on now. Shuckle's like a reef thing. He's like a slime mold. I've heard people say he's a slime mold. He's that thing that looks like a rock. He's a lot of things, you know? He shouldn't be bug type, but as a bug fan, I'm glad I have him. Dreadnought, I forgot Dreadnought, you're right! How the hell could I forget beloved Pokemon that everyone definitely cares about, Dreadnought? Ooh, this one looks like an ad, so we'll make a bunch of them. You can't wait for the second Minecraft movie? You're insane. Sorry, that was rude. You're insane. Sorry, that was rude. I haven't seen the Minecraft movie. You typed too fast on mobile, autocorrect. Look, here's the thing. I mistype all the time, regardless. Going through and catching up on shows. You finished My Hero Aka? I should probably watch the rest of My Hero Aka, huh? Alright. That's enough of that. We gotta get other decorations. Pipes are so good, but they take so much inventory space. I think we need some bells. Bells are important. This team would be neat if there was a Turtle Mama Trick Room. Chat, does Terapagos learn Trick Room? No, the candy of movies will always be Pacific Rim. Sorry, you're mistaken. It's Pacific Rim. So I'm just making everything that feels like it could be useful for decorating this. The way I like to decorate is just build a bunch of shit that I think might look neat in what I'm doing. Pacific Rim's a pastry, not candy. I get it, but I'm not sure I get it. You know when you get it, but you're not sure? Guys, we're gonna decorate so hard. We're making so many decorations here. I want to use all of them. We're going to use every single decoration. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. We're going to be the most decorated they've ever seen. Sorry. I'm not that sorry. I thought about it. I'm not actually very sorry. Blastoise, Turtonator to Leo and Raph. What's Don and Mikey? Well, Donatello does machines. So we need a steel type. No Turtlemon learns Trick Room. They hate us. They're doing that against us. They're doing it to spite us, and I can't handle it anymore. Okay, what looks decoration-y? What's got that decoration-y vibe, you know? What feels decoration-y? Forrest Gump is a good dish you ate on vacation at one point. Here's the thing. Forrest Gump, I have a crazy opinion. I don't think it's as good as people think it is. I think Forrest Gump is only kind of okay. And I'm afraid of saying it's not. Sliggoo's better than all of them? That's a slug! That's not a turtle! I'm not a forest guy. I'm not a gumper. I'm not a gump head. If you're afraid, why do I say it? I said I'm not afraid to say it. Or did I say I was afraid? I don't know. It's overrated. It's just kind of okay. It's like I'm never going to say it's bad, but it's like fine. You'll make Caracos a Don because you got the Donnie look. Only Mikey. Mikey's the fun one, if I'm not mistaken. Magic the Gathering taught me that. It's not crazy. It's only okay. It's like, it's fine, guys. It's a fine film. There's nothing wrong with Gump. Happy June. Let's hear it for the gays. Sure. I don't know what it is, man, but even when it's relevant to my life, I actually don't get it that into things where it's like, it's this time of year, it's about blank. I don't know. Like, it's not a homophobia thing. I guess it's an anti-celebration thing. I'm a soulless Scrooge. I guess I don't like when anything that I feel like is important feels performative. I think that's what it is. And I think, unfortunately, celebrations are inherently performances. And I know that that's really good. Like, it's good to perform celebration for things that are important. But it makes me feel bleh for some reason. Forrest Gump was culturally impactful. Yeah, it did a great job of telling white people it's okay because a white guy with mental retardation invented all of black culture and did all the accomplishments black people did. So you don't have to feel bad. Black people aren't relevant. It was actually a mentally challenged white man. Angle Simp, thanks for the same opinion. Don't worry, black people aren't culturally important. It was a mentally challenged white man who did it. You don't have to feel threatened. It's fine. I know it's a sweet story, but goddamn, it is mostly shit black people did that he takes over and replaces. And you're right. He beat Chinese people at table tennis. It's not Black History Month, so we don't have to care. Damn. We had Bubba. Yeah, Bubba, whose career was based off of Gump. I'm not giving it to him. I'm not giving it to him, Chief. These take way too many Pokemetal. It's insane. He dies. It's queer. It's Queer History Month. Yeah, we had Bubba. He died immediately, and then Gump was like, "I'll make your legacy." Yeah, that's the movie. I don't hate Forrest Gump. I just also I don't love it. I don't have a fondness, you know? And I know people do. I know y'all do. I know y'all Gump heads out there. Yo, fried potatoes? It's game on, so we can talk about the Fallout show. Dude, I like the Fallout show. Fallout show is good. It's good watching. They had a Black Panther slap somebody. They actually did, didn't they? Holy shit. They were like, you know what? Black Panthers are sexists. Hey, I don't have white hair. I have pale pink hair. That's a different color. Get it right. Get it correct. Racist. Not slap somebody, a woman. Yeah, I mean, I know. That's why I said the word sexist. Feels like you're not supposed to take him serious character. He's a fun one. Which character? Forrest Gump? Because Forrest Gump, like, unironically though, Forrest Gump did just go through stealing a bunch of history. And like, you're not supposed to take it seriously? Okay, then the person from the movie shouldn't have been like, holy shit, you're that guy? Wow. Maxi Thunder, stop complaining. Like genuinely, I hate to break it to you. The vibe you put out a lot is kind of the worst vibes of fandoms. Like, it's the reason creators are depressed. I think you should attempt to reconsider your relationship with media because, yes, things can be disappointing and that sucks. But I think if that's where your focus is, your world is going to be one of disappointment and regret when it could be one of joy and love as you experience beautiful things in the world. Because it seems as though your perspective is first among, is the thing being made servicing what I want to see from it? I think it's all right to hold things to account, but I think it's not good for you to have that be the primary way you engage with the world, you know? But it's not fantasy because the people in the show confirm he's telling the truth. And that he doesn't even know how to lie. And that he doesn't understand the ramifications of what he's saying. Oh, you're talking about Gump? All right, I'll read the entire thing. As a neurodivergent, you never felt as good watching a fictional character do something cool. All right, I get it. It's great representation for you as he steals Black history. It is just weird how much Black history he specifically steals. In the book, he was one of the first astronauts with a chimp. Yeah, because the book didn't want to steal Black history. I'm not gonna hate anybody for liking Gump. That is not my stance. That's not what I'm living. Can I recommend good systems for a particular TTRPG campaign if I know them? I'm not an expert on all the various systems out there. I just am an expert in the idea that you should play more than one system, in general. But if you tell me what you want to run, I will tell you if I know a system that will accomplish it well. Yeah, people who like Gump, I don't think there's anything wrong with you. It's not for me. I like the earnesty of it, is what I can say. Good system for an Avatar campaign? Yes, the Avatar RPG. I've heard really good things. The black part is weird, but it's clearly fantastical, non-serious story. But it's not, but it is, like, serious to itself. The people he talks to confirm that he is that guy. You asked for a good system? It's powered by the apocalypse. Isn't it good? I've heard it's fun. You heard really bad things? Oh, I heard good things from people. I think powered by the apocalypse is a good way to do it. I think it should be something vague. I don't think you want something mechanically comprehensive, unless you were custom building it yourself from the ground up. I would use something where the power system is less like... Have you heard about playing it straight? Like, sure, but within the story, Gump is earnest and true. Like, he's honest. He's not... None of it is untrue. And we need benches. Look, I'm allowed to not like Forrest Gump. It's not a... It doesn't mean there's something wrong with you or that I think there's something wrong with you for liking Forrest Gump. My biggest problem isn't even the, like, the thievery of Black history, because people being low-key racist is the American pastime. I just expect that. It's just... I don't know. It doesn't resonate with me correctly. It feels... It kind of feels minstrel showy to me. And I know, you're saying as a neurodivergent person, you seem represented. I, as a neurodivergent people, feel minstrel showy. And I think we're allowed to have our own perspective on representation being good or bad, and that not saying a good or bad thing about either of us. To me, the vibes are off. I think we're good. I think we have all the decorations we need. What is Robert Zemeckis does? I can never remember that man's filmography. That is one that I cannot keep track of. I think I got, by the way, my game, you might have noticed, is in a way better place than last time, so I'm not looking over here anymore. I'm looking way closer to the camera. I think is good. Apparently, Power of the Apocalypse would be a good system if used properly, but you've been told it feels like they chose it because they didn't want a system... They didn't want to think of a system, not because it was the best fit. Interesting. Okay. Then I think what I would do is probably homebrew. I would take their version and adapt it for something better. I definitely wouldn't do D&D. I think that's one of the worst fits. Back to the Future? Oh yeah, Back to the Future is a baller film. Although I will say, it still has weird, problematic, bizarre energy. And it also steals Black history! Wait a minute! Wait a minute, is Zemeckis actually racist? Like, for real? Wait, Real Steel is about robots replacing a mostly black sport. Holy shit, guys! Guys, does this persist? Wait, what the fuck? Wait a minute. Guys! I kind of thought it was like happenstance racism. Why do you think it's a bad fit? Oh, it's a bad fit in every way. D&D's simple philosophy is about resource management of skills and equipment. That is not the vibe of Avatar. Rarely do munitions matter. Rarely do pieces of equipment matter beyond them having, like, a spiritual plot importance. Abilities aren't limited. There's no points you spend to make use of your powers in Avatar. It's not a plot dynamic that comes up or matters to the series. Monster House? Okay, Monster House isn't racist, and it's written by Dan Harmon, who is not racist. D&D is okay at everything? No. It's not okay at everything. That's not a good perspective. It's good at heroic stories. It's good at stories about limited resources and management and struggle against obstacles. That is not all stories. I really don't like that D&D is good at everything, bad at nothing. It is a specialized system built around combat and limited resource points. That is the entire construction. If you are in a thing where people have the ability to do stuff ad nauseum, it is not a good fit. It is good for Magic the Gathering because that is a system where mana is a limited system. It's why the all of the D&D expansions that are about Magic the Gathering setting I actually think are really cool. He also made Who Framed Roger Rabbit. That one's not racist, right? You would add to that it's generally specifically heroic fantasy? Yes, but I think you can adjust it for other heroic systems. All assuming you use magic. Guys, how many classes don't have magic built into them in D&D? A couple of versions of fighter, one barbarian, and most rogues. The majority of D&D is magic. It is built assuming you have... And also, even the non-magical shit uses limited points. Do you know how many things in D&D don't use limited points? It's like basically champion fighter, swashbuckler rogue, mastermind rogue, and that's it. No, rangers have spell slots, Angleson. A limited use point system is used for everything. Wait, sorry, fighters even have a... yeah. Rangers are half-casters, and they... Y'all don't listen. Y'all don't fucking listen. The powers of every class in D&D is built on a limited set of accessible abilities. That is not the vibe of Avatar. That is not the vibe of One Piece. Your Devil Fruit doesn't have a limited number of uses. These things matter. You want a system that recreates the narrative flavor of combat in your world. Don't champion fighters? No, you're thinking of battle masters. Champion fighters are just, they crit more. It does though? What do you mean it does though? Your friends are wanting to run a Fire Emblem campaign? Hell yes. Where the players are the lords, but still have a small army of other units. You're wondering if I have suggestions? I actually think D&D could do that. It does, though? No, it's not limited points, though. You're misunderstanding. You're misconveying. It's not like a mana pool. And also, One Piece doesn't work for so many other reasons. Never use D&D for One Piece. It just doesn't work. D&D is built on PP. Yes, like Pokemon, it is. Yeah, that's not Avatar. Yeah, exactly. You like magic, but don't like how utterly dull. Yeah, the marshals in D&D kind of suck ass. Marshals in Pathfinder 2 are so fucking sick. Nobody's willing to give Pathfinder a chance, so they don't realize how badass martial characters are in PF2. They're so fucking fun to play, it's unreal. You're including Battlemaster fighters? I think Battlemasters can be fun. If you get a lot of movement feats, especially, they're really cool. You want to play PF2? PF2 kicks ass. It's such a good game. Marshals are so much fun. It's a little too balanced is my only problem. I think it would genuinely be a more interesting, fun game if it was less balanced. Which I know, if you come from D&D, is a bizarre perspective. That it can be a problem that a game is too balanced, but it is. Battlemaster fighters are just what fighters should have been at baseline. I don't know if I agree with that, but it is Battlemaster fighters are similar to how marshals are developed in Pathfinder, but their abilities feel less big and more, but don't have limits. to separate them from the feeling of casters and gameplay. Yeah, within 5e system. I don't know if I fully agree with you, but I think your vibe-wise, you are correct. Would PF2 let you do something like be a sword fighter who charges sword with magic and hit stuff with it? Yes. There is a class explicitly built for what you're talking about called the Magus that has an ability called the Spell Strike. Spell Strike allows you to put any spell with an attack roll involved in it and attach it to a weapon strike so that the weapon hits and the spell goes off. If the weapon crits, you even get to downgrade the save result, if there is one, on the person you're hitting. The Magus is exactly built for what you're talking about, like entirely. That is their entire construction. Yeah, Pathfinder 2 kicks ass, doesn't it? It's not good for Avatar, though. It's still a limited resource system. Or you get crit damage if it's an attack spell. Exactly. You do need to take a feat to be able to take spells with a save instead of attack spells, but it's worth it. It's really good. You gotta go now? Goodbye, Angle Simp. May ye farewell. So I'm just adding these pipes however I feel like to add a little bit of texture. There's not really rhyme or reason to it. I just like things to feel textured and lived in. Mages are famous for deleting stuff if they crit. It's why they're really good with a dedication to Investigator, because Investigators can plan an attack and know how well their attack roll is going to go so that they can save their spell strikes for a crit. It's a really cool combination. I think it's awesome. What do we have for decor? Ooh, this is going to be sick. Okay. We're going to have a chain here. Yeah. Investigators are just a cool class. I thought I'd hate them, but they are my favorite design class in the game. You played a Mages in PF1, she was your favorite character ever, rivaled by your War Priest in PF1. If you like PF1, PF2 is a better game, but the amount of balanced that it is, I think makes some people who love PF1 not like it. It is a more carefully made game where you can't make characters nearly as broken as you were able to in Pathfinder 1. Pathfinder 1 really encouraged you to make busted shit. Oh no, I need to eat bread. If you want to do mainly combat, D&D is great, but if you don't have combat, very little of it, yeah, I disagree. I think that's the wrong observation to make. I think D&D should be for combat-focused games, but that should not be your only distinction. There are other reasons for D&D to not be the game you should be using. Whether it's genre-based, what the rhythm and narrative of combat feels like in the genre you are trying to evoke, whether that be because you there's just a lot of other reasons other than combat's not your main focus that D&D wouldn't feel like your right fit. And it's not because D&D is a bad game, it's just because it's not as generic as people act like it is. You'll actually say you often see the idea that high-level D&D 5e doesn't work because of the lack of balance, but you do think that's part of the charm. Yes and no. You're right and you're wrong. Is it charming that your characters feel high power? Yes. Something is lost in the fact that the balance of Pathfinder 2, and that's why I've said a complaint is that it's too balanced. Something is lost in the balance of PF2 that you never feel as powerful at high level as you do in D&D. What I will say there is, and why I disagree with you, as a DM, if people care about combat being fun at all, D&D 5e at high level is a nightmare as a DM. Because creating encounters that feel challenging is fucking impossible. It's a nightmare. Yeah, headache to DM. Creating fights that feel engaging and fun for high-level D&D campaigns is goddamn mother-flippin' impossible. It is absolutely monstrous. I despise it. The damage per round calculations I do to be a good DM in D&D 5th edition shouldn't be something I ever have to do. Yeah, the PF2, Trey Nix, if it helps, PF2, I would say, is about a third of the crunch of Pathfinder 1. At high level, it is about a fifth of the crunch of PF1. At level 1, it's more crunch than PF1, and by the time you reach high level, it is a fifth. Mother flipping? Yeah, yeah, whatever. You heard the combat's really bland for the for Avatar. Apparently, it's like, how do you defeat that enemy? That's a little boring. Okay, well, I think Powered by the Apocalypse would be the best foundation. But it sucks that that sucks. The other systems I've played, none of them would really fit the narrative version. You'll try it? I think you'll have to probably change it a bit is the issue if it's sounding that bad. You've tried making a bending combat system. You immediately got rid of PP, even ammo, stuff like that. If you are new to RPGs, don't make your own system. Here's my big advice, Snow. If there's nothing that out of the box does Pathfinder well, don't start with an avatar system. If you're new to TTRPGs, play something that it's easy to play a game for. Because you want to learn how it works before you start changing it. The reason that is because if you start changing a machine and it doesn't work, you don't learn anything. Because you don't know what is broken, because you never saw the machine operate. You need to start with something that functions so that you can witness, if it doesn't, what went wrong. I highly recommend picking something that there is a good functional system for as your way to learn. I've talked positively about Warhammer Fantasy, but you're wondering, how does combat work? Okay. Combat in Warhammer Fantasy is about momentum, and it's very swingy. You and your party gain advantage as things go well for you, and the enemy gains advantage as things go well for them. Strategy matters. If you bear down on someone with a large creature like a horse, they might lose composure and flee. If a bunch of people grapple someone, they continue to get stacking debuffs. The combat is very swingy, and it's very easy to overpower someone much stronger than you with the right numbers and situational advantages. Combat can be brutal. If you are crit and don't have armor, you might just die on the spot because you can spend armor to not gain the maiming consequences of a crit that can sometimes dismember you and sometimes kill you. So armor is essential for combat. Additionally, you parry attacks. When attacks come in, you can choose to parry or dodge and roll opposed. To subtract your level of success from their level of success to attempt to not be hit. You want to really think through how you approach combat. No, Snow, I'm not saying you won't make... Snow, listen to my words, not the words you think I'm saying. I am not saying don't make a system because it's hard or you don't have time or you can't figure it out. I'm saying don't make a system because if you never see a system work, you will never understand why it doesn't. You will be able to diagnose that it doesn't, but not why it doesn't. I am telling you this. Running games is one of the most complicated tasks that I know how to do. It is a mix of storytelling, improvisation, group counseling, game design, and world building. Those are all very disparate skills. And you are stressing all of them at the same time. And if you have not run a game before, these, at least some of them, are likely muscles you have never flexed. If you are improvising a system for your first time, you are going to see it not work. Yes, you need to DM before you make a system, and you should modify a system before you make a system. Because if you modify a system, you can have good experience seeing what twisting the knobs does. You can see what it looks like to pull a valve one way or the other. And if you never gain the experience of seeing what happens when you move a valve one way or the other, or when you twist the knobs, you are never going to gain the experience to know exactly what you're doing and how your decisions affect gameplay. There are many systems groups of people have spent decades making already, so try those first. Yes, I understand you want to do Avatar first, and the Avatar system apparently isn't good. That sucks. But I think it is worth just delaying doing the exact game you want. So that you, when you make a system, are experienced with it. Because you're going to have ideas and knowledge that you don't. Learn the rules so you can break those properly argument. Love those. Yeah, they're almost always correct. There's very few places where you're going to make accurate... So I'm not decorating this way because I haven't added in the pillars yet. Because the pillars I make on these subways are where I put power blocks to transmit electricity. So I don't want to be decorating yet. Yeah, DMing is one of the most complicated tasks I have ever done and continue to do. It is something that after over a decade of doing it, I am still nearly 2 decades of doing it. I am constantly engaging in learning and new understanding. Most skills don't feel like that kind of learning experience. You wouldn't load a 200 mod pack for your first playthrough of Skyrim. Exactly. You want to get an understanding for something before you break it. And once you have that understanding, yeah, that's kosher. Do what you want. But before you have that level of understanding, you will make you'll make wrong decisions whether you know or not. You're good at improv though. Notice how that wasn't the only skill I listed. I also listed creative writing, world building, group counseling, storytelling, and game design. DMing is a mix of many, many, many things. Even if you are good at improv, you are not going to understand what you're doing well enough, I promise you. And it's not... And I'm not saying... What I'm saying is you are going to make mistakes when you build your own system, no matter what. But if you learn how to run a game first, you will at least be able to learn from those mistakes instead of only making them. I think Powered by the Apocalypse is good too. I just think if the way they did it is bad, that's one thing. Each bit helps, but you still need to run something else. Neat, Trainix. What's the Pokopia say about? Oh, you're new to the stream. It's about repair. The idea that in looking at a zone, you can see what's damaged and what is lost and gained in repair. This was a broken water area that seemed like a processing plant, so I instead turned it into a little floating farm. But what was there before, you can no longer see. But you can see that the intention of what was there before has been kept. That it is still a place water is flowing through the city. The essay is going to be about the idea that damage tells a story, and you lose little bits of... Just Trey is fine? Alright, Trey it is. That you lose little bits of your ability to decipher what has been there as you fix and improve an area. I'm just fascinated by that as a concept. I do need to add pillars here, too. Maybe not. Alright, let's add posters! Decorate the sub. How dare you, sir? How dare you? How dare you? Yeah, I'm not saying, Snoll, you are unable to do this. I am saying you are taking on one of the hardest skills that you can learn. Because it is one of the most multifaceted thing that is incredibly subjective. You think this is why Tears of the Kingdom falls flat for you? Explain. Explain to me, sir. Explain to me. I'm curious. I'm not saying you're wrong at all. I think that's an interesting statement that might be part of the essay now, and I want to hear your perspective on that. With the restoration, the idea that there is a story to the damage before and now that's lost, I should have grabbed. Give you a second to think about it. Understood. Anyway, Snoll, I am never saying you were unable to run a game. I am saying if you are going to learn the right lessons from your mistakes, you need to see a system in motion. You need to see something that is running well and working, doing as intended. And that does mean what you should run is limited for your first time playing, or first time running a game. And that sucks, but it also is just the nature of things, that if there isn't already a system to support it, the mature, responsible way to learn how to make a system to do what you want is to gain that knowledge first. It feels like the Proto-Zonai plot is underdeveloped. Interesting. You're still listening to stream, just going to be doing things while spreading democracy. Yeah. As a DM, you'll need to do so much work with world building, storytelling, character acting, improvising. That's all. This is all with a system ready there to modify anyways. So don't. Yeah. I think start with a system as it is. Don't do Avatar at first if the one that they built isn't fun enough. And I wouldn't make changes until you'd been playing for at least a few months with the system as intended so that you can get a good grasp of how it functions. Modifying a system is so fucking difficult in ways you don't expect it to be. You are going to make mistakes. If I started modifying a system or making my own, I would make mistakes. But because I know the system well enough to know how it runs, I would learn lessons from those mistakes. And that's the important part, is to have the foundational knowledge that lets you learn correctly when you make mistakes. Because the mistakes are an inevitable fact of building. Okay. I'm just moving these tracks a bit back so that there can be more space that feels like a seating area. Okay, what are we gonna do here? Ooh, I've got an idea. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. All right. What do we got? Never finished Tears of the Kingdom? I didn't either. I should play it again. I like the combat a lot. I don't know. I think it's creative. The changes felt fun. The Dunning-Kruger... I mean, the man's a physicist. He knows the Dunning-Kruger effect. You think I'd like this? Mother's Basement's new video on modern fantasy anime, and in the comments, you describe Dungeon Meshi as someone feed Brennan Lee Mulligan. Good lord. That's cute. Bum, ba, bum. Ba, bum. 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 You don't have input in the restoration. Interesting. That is an interesting critique of Tears of the Kingdom that I find compelling. This place has been fixed and you were not privy to it. I told them you knew, Snow. I told them. I'm on your side here. Never mind, Helldivers 2 broke your audio. What the fuck? Your friend has the Avatar system. You haven't played it. You've read it through. Looks like a fun twist on Powered by the Apocalypse. I will say, Powered by the Apocalypse feels underwhelming if you aren't good at narrativization. You bring a lot of the storytelling to combat and the like when you're playing Powered by the Apocalypse in general. There's a lot more onus put on you to make things interesting. Look how lived in this is feeling now, guys. Doesn't this feel cute? I think it feels cute. Right, though? Tell me you're not feeling this little subway station. Bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, it was a joke. It was a joke. Okay, that is true. I fall prey to the Dunning-Kruger effect all the time, even though I'm a fairly intelligent guy and very, very, very aware of it. But did you know that there is a psychological phenomena called the psychological phenomena? If you're aware of a psychological phenomena, it affects you less. But there's another one where if you're aware of that phenomenon, it is less effective than it normally is. Isn't that hilarious? What do you guys think of that one? I need to you can't make the posters crooked tragically, or I promise I would. The psychological phenomena sounds made up. Maybe it's not called that, but I'm pretty sure it is. But yeah, the idea is if you are aware of psychological phenomena, they affect you less. But if you're aware of that phenomena affects you less as well. Meaning, it's fuck. All right. Look, is it fake? I don't know. I might be misremembering the name and replacing it with a funny name. So the pipes I just kind of add in to make the space feel like more industrial. You know what? Let's... Well, all things are kind of made up. Oh. Oh. Yeah, that's true, though. That's pretty true. That's pretty true, though. Where's the other... Did I not make the other curve? I didn't make the other L curve? Fuck. We gotta go back. We gotta go back. We gotta go back. Dunning-Kruger effect should be taught to everybody. Just knowing it helps you avoid putting yourself in BS situations. Yeah, it's an important one. For people who don't know, the Dunning-Kruger effect is the effect where you tend to overestimate your own skill level when you are new to something. You underestimate the complexity of a task or skill, and then you tend to underestimate how good you are at something when you're better at it. Now, the way it's often explained is misunderstood, which is it's often explained that you think you're worse when you're better. The reality is you still think you're better than you were. You just think you're not as good as you are. You think you are less far along the progression of skill than you actually are. Both sides can fuck you up in different ways. Like we have Immortal Lab Palindrome because someone thought it was funny. Yeah. You'll probably ask on the subreddit of the Avatar system if someone's open for a player to try it out. You want to have a better system before altering it. Play it before you alter it. Just play it. Play it and run it. First-hand experience instead of listening to others is more helpful. Here's the thing. Snoll, you are a physicist, right? Oh, wait. Physicists don't work with designed objects as often as other... Okay, let me explain this. Snoll, the way to learn how to alter a system best is to play with it and go, I don't like this decision they made, and then ask yourself, why do I think they made this decision? And see if you can figure out a game design reason that they made the choice that they made. So I'll give you a great example. I hate the fan-made expansion to Rogue Trader. Rogue Trader is my favorite Warhammer role-playing game, but it's dated, so it's not that fun to play. Dark Heresy, the sister game to Rogue Trader, got an update, Dark Heresy 2, but Rogue Trader was never given that update. Alright? Alright, you do stuff like that all the time? Brilliant, then you're going to be good at this. So, I tried to play a fan-made expansion. The expansion's idea was taking the mechanics of Dark Heresy 2 that were an improvement from Dark Heresy 1 and applying that to Rogue Trader to make a fan-made Rogue Trader 2. They did something that was bad game design. They looked at the fact that Rogue Trader never gave a class all of the attributes it wanted. So, like, the Arch Militant, the big heavy combat class, was never able to both get toughness easily and weapon skill. They decided that was a design mistake and changed it so that everybody's class had access to all of the most important attributes for their role. That is bad game design, because a part of what makes RPGs interesting is weaknesses, compensating for weaknesses, and decisions. Having to spend extra experience points to level up some of the attributes you want, or choose to lean into having those weaknesses, creates more interesting game design experiences. They didn't ask themselves why a decision they didn't like had been made. They didn't understand the discomfort was inherent to the system and was intentionally applied. This applies to so many things. The game doesn't look that hard. I would have hit that baseball harder. Yeah. I could cook that at home. I could act better. Yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah, Irregular Gremlin's right. That's a way to think of it. You have to observe something before you make a hypothesis. That's a great way to think about it. I agree. I think that's a good thing. But yeah, the fan-made expansion for Rogue Trader 2 didn't consider that there was a benefit to not giving your classes all of the abilities they wanted. And I think that made the game design weaker because of it. You originally run AW. Friends tried making their own, bounced off it because they don't like 2d6 systems. Now they're making a 2d20. What the fuck? That's insane. I don't know what AW is. But that's crazy. 2d20, huh? Alright. Then we'll do this one as a cute little segment in the game. You know what? Fixing a system is the exact same task as what I'm doing here. It's an archaeological act. It's looking at something and deciding, Why is it the way that it is? Deciphering the intent of a designer. It is so similar to the task at hand in Pokopia right now, of trying to uncover why decisions were made to make something that I'm experiencing the way that it is. And I think that's great. Apocalypse World, gotcha. I always forget that's a thing. All right. Right, we'll go a couple further, or one further, I think. Go one further for this pipe. Righty. The Dunning-Kruger also has that graph that explains why people who know nothing feel as much or more confident than experts. At first you have total confidence, and you begin to feel the depth and you truly realize how little you know. That's often where people give up. Yeah. If you're cowards. I think I used to give up on stuff more when I realized how complicated it was. But I've also kind of locked in what skills I care about now, so... It's the reason it's called Powered by the Apocalypse. That makes sense. Because it's based off... Yeah, okay, You're so smart and wise, and I appreciate it. Look at my beautiful pipe work. All right. How do we do this one? If you looked at these pipes, they would make no sense. However, they don't need to make sense. They just need to fill space and look good at a glance. So they're doing their job. You'll ship bricks when you learn why it's called Dungeons and Dragons. That's so true. Why do they call it that? Oh, man. Yeah, I want everybody to know, my hatred of D&D is never actually a hatred of D&D. It's the assumption that it is the right choice. Instead of the consideration that there are dozens and dozens of great options that will better suit a specific genre need. Alrighty. Pipes, 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 pipes. Okay. Let's add some more posters in this zone now that we've done the pipe work. Oh, fuck, I haven't been using the ice cream poster, and it's like the cutest one. We gotta go back through and slam it everywhere. The ice cream poster is a necessity. It's an ice cream poster. Oh, and the tech poster! That's one of the best ones, too! Damn, you're writing a message, you got sniped frozen. Had to refresh. No! What you say? These pipes make you want to put pipes all over your apartment? Hell yeah, that's how you know it's working. I love this feeling of posters everywhere because it feels so Subway to just have a bunch of advertisements everywhere. And just random art murals. There's a brilliantly named system called Goblin with a Fat Ass. Great. We love to hear that. All right, let's keep slapping these stickers. Ooh, we have another subway train that I haven't done yet. Ooh, it's decoration time. They also need to be ripped and heavily graffitied. Unfortunately, not an option the game has given me. It turns out the people of Pokopia, the Pokemon, too kind for that. D20 is actually an actual official master system made by Modifius. Wait, 2D20, okay. The Fallout RPG? You're telling me Fallout Boy made an RPG? That's crazy. I'm kidding, I know about the Fallout RPG because I watch videos by a guy who goes into Fallout lore. They got crazy shit in there. Yeah, they got lore in the RPG. What's it to ya, punk? Kind of random, but you want to sing for some reason. Want to sing all day. You don't usually like singing, but today your throat is sick. You're sick and your throat is sore. Clearly, you're cursed. And you can only want to sing when you can't. I guess that's just the human experience, though. Read the rest, though, after what he said? Okay. Wait. Originally made for the Fallout RPG, which you played, and it's good, I've heard. And Arctung Cthulhu. Also good. Achtung, yeah. If you like punching German mustache men. Oh, yeah. The cultist Nazis. That's fun. Fallout Boy RPG has a setting where you can play as Deer Boy. Yeah. The system by Imagine Dragons kind of overrated. You guys are great. I love that you've gone with this. I love that you've gone with the bit. I respect it. I appreciate you. You are loved. All right, what do we do about this? I think we need a bell. That looks good. We love a bell. What else is a good decoration? Oh, I know what we want. What I wanted. We're going back where we came from. Well, after we make a bunch more posters, because I'm running out. Foo Fighter system is great alien design. You guys never cease to humor me. Entertainment. I should probably go soon, actually. I started really late, and I do need to do my exercise still. I gotta do that, or I will die every day. Comedy? Now that's comedy. Drink posters, tech posters, food posters. These are the main ones I want a bunch of because they're funny. And they look like advertisements in a way the other ones don't. I think the gold one looks kind of decoration-y. Yeah, I think next week we'll do another D&D lesson. We'll do how to write stories for RPGs. Then we'll do another Discovering the Countries for the week after. How's that sound to you guys? I think that sounds good, right? Ooh. Wait. Why is this Sprigatito and the other two are the middle form? Do they hate Middle Cat? Guys, they hate Middle Cat. Channel name, we're playing Pokopia. Politics are later. Next week-ish. We're talking about a video essay. Countries, yay. Week after next. When am I bringing the critters back? When I can draw. I'm still injured, dude. Any idea what I'll stream? Yes, I'm going to be talking about the creation of the new aristocrats and the death of money. And why that's actually bad, it turns out. Because money didn't die for you, it just died for rich people. I don't know what a regular gremlin said that we're responding to there. Don't forget mental health stream. I do need to do a mental health stream. The issue is, you want me to do a queer-focused one, and that feels like not my bag, you know? Hitlerman would be a really fucked up superhero. Yeah, I had an idea for something I wanted to do here. I just need to figure out a place. Did I check out your message suggesting the reading amounts? I think so. I believe so. I don't remember what you said now, but at some point I believe so. Trust me, this is gonna be awesome, you guys. Look, here's the thing. Right now, the best way to have good mental health is to understand that joy comes in dark moments and that your personal well-being does not need to be tied to broader concepts of what's going on in the world. And that, in fact, your ability to do good to fight the bad of the world is dependent on your ability to be okay. The world is made better by the people who care doing their best to be well. What blocks did I not get rid of that we can make this room out of? Iron plating it is. All right. I think we're going to have to make some changes. I think that poster is about to pop off. I'm going to have to move it. Yep. Check out this cool idea I had for something that feels like very subway station-y in the central station. Right? Hear me out. Now, you might be like, isn't this an audio mixer? Yeah, but pretend it's something that's there to, like, manage it. Oh, shit, we need a table. What are we doing? I missed the joke. What are we talking about? Can I add Subway Surfers? No, this is the Subway Surfers. Take table from Hot Springs? Those are the wrong tables. Alright. Alright. Which of these? Right, it's this one. That we haven't finished. It's the only unfinished rail. You're gonna snitch to Mel that I'm uncomfortable with queer people. I have no discomfort with queer people. I have discomfort speaking on behalf of queer people and discomfort with celebration months. Those are different. The idea of celebration months in general aren't my bag. I'm not opposed to them. I've always struggled to want to participate in them. So maybe I am opposed to them just lightly. It's not my bag. Fuck, we're out of electricity. God damn it. Okay, I'm gonna need to build new systems, but for now, we can at least just add some temporary generators. What if we call it Queer Awareness Month? Look, I don't have a problem with gay people. That's fine. That's not the issue. The issue is a fundamental discomfort with celebration months, also speaking on behalf of, yeah, the queer and gay experience. Like I said, culturally, I am in the queer culture. That does not give me the ability to comment on the experience of queer people. Oh my god. I don't want to celebrate anybody for a month. That's not on me. That's on the concept of month. You fucking people. Alright. Okay. Now, you might be like, why are you using two different kinds of stone? That's a great question. Floor. I ran out of one of them. And this worked out fine. This looks good. So I know it's actually an audio relay, but we can pretend, and it's got the visual of looking like a control panel for the subway. And I think that's cute. You know, those are arguments used by transphobes. I mean, I'm aware of that. But also, I have made a promise to you guys to be very genuine, and that means I am never going to be like, whoa, with anything I don't feel whoa about. Unfortunately, you got to deal with the fact that sometimes my lack of excitement can be registered as problematic. I'm a big fan of gay people. Well, no. I don't think there's anything wrong with Gay Pride Month. It is just a thing that I have never felt. No celebratory month, very few celebrations have I had an easy time buying into. Do I hit my birthday? No. But that's not a month of celebration of a thing. That's like a brief acknowledgement in a party. Because I hate celebrating? I don't hate celebrating. I have never felt like these months are my bag. I know a lot of people like them. I think that's great. Frankly, I do know gay people who feel the same way and are like, I don't really care. Gay Wrath Month, Gay Sloth Month. We're making great jokes here, and I do appreciate that. At the end of the day, it's night. And that's what... Ah, god damn it. Thought it could... Maybe if I add a ladder. I think this will work. We'll make this ladder go somewhere one day, maybe. For now, it's there for decoration. Oh my god. I'm not... You people. You people are trying to get me canceled with your shit. And you know what? I find it hilarious. Keep going. You're great. The jokes are actually really, really funny, and I appreciate all of them. Yeah, you people. We have fun. All I'm saying is this is adorable. This little station here, this looks great. At least I see you as people. Good lord. It's being renamed to Rainbow Capitalism. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's actually the Rainbow Capitalism that makes me hate it. Like, the second corporations got on board, I was like, ah, fuck this. I think that actually has something to do with it. I think it being corporatized makes it hard for me to like. Like, I think if it was still like a rebel thing in my adult life, I could get behind it. But it does feel kind of corporate. Oh my god. The corpos don't even pretend to care anymore. Some of them do. Some of the corpos care. Or pretend to. Some of the corpos care to pretend. Don't take that from them. You haven't seen a corporation? I think they realize gay people hate it, and so do bigots. If I'm being honest. If I'm being honest. I think they realize that nobody likes that shit. Okay. Alright, let's see. Shit, I need to eat more bread. You need to go to sleep? That's allowed. Nobody's stopping you. Thank you for being here. I think I'll stop pretty soon. Talking to you guys is fun. Pokopia is fun. Gay people and bigots agree. I mean, the only people that didn't agree that Pride sucks was, like, liberals that like to feel like they're helping. Can we be honest about that? That the rainbow capitalism, the rainbow flags for a company, the only people that like that shit were liberals who like to tell themselves they're doing it. Is that fair? I feel like it's fair. Rainbow capitalism was for them. With how your gay friends goon over characters, might as well call it Gay Lust Month. Based. Alright, guys, what do you think? You remember what this looked like? Look at our beautiful subway. Yeah, but now it has an office. Do-do. Do-do. Do. Hell yes. This is so cute. Ah! Maybe there should be a fence there. Maybe there should be a fence here, huh? Maybe we need a fence. Yeah, okay, that's probably safe. It's off-center? Why? Just, you know, asymmetry's fine. It's just where things were. It's a restoration project. It's based off of what there already was. So things can be a little off-center. This is 5 wide. I don't know. I just kind of was fine with it. Sometimes things are. Testing? There we go, fix it. A lot of gay shit is getting more adaptations. Hell yeah. Yeah, see, it all has to be a little off-center because it's only 2 wide. So I just do cute little things. I am back. That's true. We're all saying it. Give you 40 years to celebrate? I'll give it to you. Oh, I love looking at a freshly restored area. It makes me happy. Ugh. I love to see it. Alright. I should probably go, team. This is fun. I'm glad I fixed my setup so I can actually game. And I can look at chat and look at the camera more easily like this. Okay. I think we're... Oh, you know what? There's one more bit of decoration I want to do. Yeah, the setup before was so fucking jank. Now things can be set on proper arms. Everything's good. The monitors are more stable. I have more desk space. It's great. I remember I wanted to turn this into a nice station, and then we'll be good. Unfortunately, there's no power down here. No, I did bring power here, did Yes, I did. Beautiful. Oh, but we're running out of power, so we can't add any more electrical stuff. Okay. Didn't I? I like to pretend that these signs tell Pokemon where they're going. Even though they super do not. Oh, I have to build this rail still, don't I? That's gonna suck. You fixed your own setup, basically the same, but you've done the cable management? Hell yeah. Actually, we'll set this up here. Oh. Oh. And then we need an elevator right here. I can never get these elevators to work without fidgeting with them for like 20 minutes. Fuck. Alright, there we go. There we go. I actually got it. That's crazy. Now we can set up little seating zones. Everything's good. Fuck are you? Cement border. You're gonna go fill up before the new gas tax? Good lord. It's getting rough out there, ain't it, Chief? The strategic reserves of refined petroleum in the US and Canada are coming up on empty soon, and we haven't fixed it, and nobody's talking about it, and I don't know what we're supposed to make of that. Like, we're all acting like it's fine, but, like, they're coming up on empty. Do we have new gas? Are we making new gas that I'm not aware of? How do you deal with action when action would only get you in more trouble? Inaction eats at your soul, but it keeps you safe. Depends on what the action is, I guess. Damn. Damn, dog. Ain't that just life, though? Life do be that way. And I think, you know, sometimes that's how it be. Let's see. What do we want to put here? I do need to build more power stuff. Be a whole thing. Nope. Put a newspaper down over here. I don't know what I'm doing on this side. We just do a bench. And now we spam posters. You wish you had an everything's goodinator? That sounds great. When you get that working, let me know about it. I would love to be in the world where I could do that. Public art piece. Yes. These are so necessary. Without the posters, it just feels so fucking dead. This just makes it feel like a place. Yes. The Everything Goodinator work outside the tri-state area? Yes, until the episode needed Phineas and Ferb's machine to get fucked. Then it goes back and does its job. Amen. It's called a pew pew machine, and it pews the mean people. I don't want to say based, so I won't say it. I will not say based. Because I don't want to say that. And I think we're all good with that. Based in Roblox, yeah. Ugh. Me struggling at the limits of what I can say. If I ever get kicked off Twitch, I might deserve it. I'm just saying. Alright, there we go. This one's a little less cute of a place, but I feel like they didn't give me quite as much to work with here. Go. Going so base, but you'll say your chicken is moist? Jesus Christ. Dog, jeez. Phineas and Ferb. No, I can't read that. I can't read that. Evil Ron, Phineas and Ferb, Kim Possible. The sentence. The sentence. Follow doof. Okay, the sentence had some typos that made me unable to read it. May your pillows be cold tonight, y'all. Absolutely. Okay, we're gonna... Last thing... Fuck. We're gonna replace this broken window with a real window. Show them what a real window looks like. I like that each of the little railway stations I built has a different vibe to it. Violence should only be used when you're neither smart enough nor strong enough for another solution. I'm gonna be real. There are situations where violence is just the only answer. Usually, though, it's because someone else has instigated violence. Which, you know... Yeah. I'm gonna be honest, there's a reason that more educated people are more likely to believe that violence is a necessary means to good ends. Sometimes. That there are situations where it is necessary. I love all my little railway tracks. Look at them. Look at how happy they are. Don't you love them? We love to see railway tracks. Where's this one go again? I don't remember where this one goes anymore. This one. How do you find people IRL where you feel safe? You just go out and make friends, and eventually they like you and you like them, and that's it. That's all. Oh, fuck. So that's a problem, is this pipe gets in the way of my picking up of my cart. So I'll need to fix that later, and I also need to rebuild that fence that I took down, because I was going to rebuild it. Violence is never the answer. See where they got the air nomads? Yeah. Violence is usually not the answer. It usually makes things worse. A situation where there isn't violence is, on average, better than one where there is. That's what I'll say. That's a true statement. Because people dying and being hurt is generally bad. Violence is the question, and the answer is depends. Yeah. Alright, team. Thanks for being here. I'm gonna go. We can play games on stream now without it being a nightmare. Till next... I'm not raiding for no good reason. I just don't feel like it. Until next time, it's been lovely.